Fid McAwesome here from Down Under the Ring, and we're joined by a Aussie superstar from AEW, Kyle Fletcher. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Very good. Good to have that. That's not English. I'm sorry. It's very nice to be here. Thanks for having me. Wow.
First question, how's the new haircut going?
Oh, dude, I love it. I get up in the morning. I don't have to do nothing. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
So you must be really looking forward to being able to perform in an arena here in Australia. Will this be your first Australian show of this size?
Yeah, absolutely. I've only ever done kind of the indies in Australia, so PWA was my mainstay. I haven't done bigger than a couple hundred people, so it's going to be a bit of a big step up for sure.
Yeah. So PWA, so you're based here in Sydney, were you?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I grew up in Sydney and I started training with PWA, so that was my main promotion.
Yeah. So it must be awesome for you seeing so many Aussies, like whether it be from PWA or whether it be from Adelaide or at the moment just doing amazing things at the moment in professional wrestling in general, like across the
Yeah,
board.
yeah, absolutely. I when I got into wrestling back in like 2013, I think there was one, maybe two Australians that had ever kind of like made it to the top level of pro wrestling. So for me back then, it was very like hard to envisage how I get there, if that makes sense. So
Mm.
I think for like people in the same position that I was, being able to see 10 plus Australians in that top position and doing incredible, crazy things, multiple world champions, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think it's awesome for people like that. They can see
And,
that and
look,
go, it's
uh,
achievable.
and as a New Zealander myself, it's not just the Aussies, it's the Kiwis up there
Yeah,
as well.
of course. Yeah. It's great all around. It's awesome.
Yeah. So you've had a very interesting last couple of months.
Of course.
Um, I do have a question for you when it comes to the situation with that's going on at the moment with Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Um, so my question being, come February 15th, here in Australia, Brisbane Suncorp Stadium, do you have any concerns that coming over here, like, yes, it's going to be your home ground. It's going to be, you're going to have the advantage when it comes to the
Mhm.
home territory and the fans. But in saying that, Will has a few key people like Henare and that are literally only a flight away. Are there any concerns there?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're concerns. I think Will would be very silly to think that he has more friends than I do. I have a whole family that at the drop of a hat will be there to back me up. So I'm not too stressed at all, mate. Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, even when it's a madman like Henare who could potentially be over there at any time.
Nah, dude, I'll drop that effort on his head. Real drop stat.
I mean, look, you don't have to be clean on this show. You can swear as much as you like.
Oh, fuck yeah. He's getting fucked up, dude. Let's go.
Bro, it's an Aussie podcast. You know how it is.
Hell yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So look, what are you most looking forward to with this Aussie show happening?
Dude, for me, it's kind of like bringing two of like my loves together, right? Like growing up in Australia, I love the country through and through.
Mm,
AEW, I love the company through and through. I love being a part of it. So it's like it's really like two worlds of mine colliding, and I think
yeah.
that's probably going to be the coolest part. I get to wrestle for the company I love in front of the country that I love. It's going to be incredible. No
Yeah.
words.
Yeah. And I mean, it must be special going from like sellout arenas in the States, sellout arenas in Japan to being able to do the same thing on your home territory.
Yeah, it I can't describe it. I remember doing Wembley last year and thinking
Mm.
like, wow,
And
this
that
is
must have
really
been an
cool.
experience.
Dude, in its own a crazy experience, but like walking out there and thinking like, man, if I ever got to do this in Australia, because you had all these UK people on the show, and it's like they're
Mm.
wrestling in their home country for the first time in a massive stadium. I'm like, man, if we could ever do this in Australia, it'd be the coolest thing in the world. And lo and behold, a year later, I'm sitting here talking about doing the same thing. It's going to be crazy.
Were you surprised when the show was announced?
Um, I don't know if I would say surprise is the right word because I'd had that thought. I was like, man, we can really do this. I hope that we do this one day because
Mm.
it'd be cool. I heard it there was like rumblings of it. I'm like, yes, let's do it. I'm excited. It was
but I mean,
cool.
like, you've been around the Australian wrestling scene. We've heard rumbles of every show under the sun coming to this
Yeah,
country, so you never really know. Like we heard rumors of Elimination Chamber happening
yeah,
like months in advance, and
yeah,
everyone was still genuinely surprised when the announcement happened.
yeah,
But the same with AEW when we heard the rumors of a stadium show. I think there was also doubt, like a stadium. Nah, it's not going to be a stadium show.
yeah.
It's probably going to be an arena.
No,
Uh,
absolutely. No, I had the same thing, but I wouldn't. It still didn't feel like surprise. It was more so like a fuck yeah, let's go. Like
yeah,
it was just excitement for me.
yeah. Um, Another question when it comes to the announcement, there was a lot of people that were announced as uh, AEW coming to the home of this person, that person, and the other. There's a lot of names that were left off that list.
Yes, there were. Yeah, I don't know how all the press works, to be honest. I think that's
Yeah,
very much like a above my pay grade type thing.
yeah,
Like, I think it was surprising to me. I think like there should have been. I mean, there should have been a. If there are Australians left off, why would you not advertise that, right? Like, I
yeah,
think we all had that thought, but yeah. I mean, regardless, it's just crazy that it's going to happen. I'm
yeah.
not. I think getting caught up in the little things like that is a bit. It's a bit silly. I think just the fact that it's even happening is it's like
Mhm.
years ago I wouldn't have even expected anything like this to happen. So I'm just grateful and blessed that it is.
Yeah. So I just had a chat with Darby, who
Sure,
was just telling me that he's got zero interest in the independent wrestling scene.
sure.
In his own time, he likes to spend his time skateboarding and whatnot, as you
Sounds about right.
understand. But you're someone who's come from the Australian indie scene.
Yeah.
Are you hoping when you get over here and you're over here for the big show, you're going to try and take in some indie stuff while you're here?
For sure, man. I think I have so many friends and so many people that
Mm,
I still talk to that are on the indies in Australia. So I think it would be whether or not I'm sure there will be shows happening around the
mm,
time. Whether or not I get to go to the shows themselves, I just want to catch up with my friends more than
mm.
anything. So I think, yeah, if I can get to a show, if my schedule allows it, that'd be awesome. But otherwise, yeah, I'll just be catching up with mates.
Yeah, and what do you think's so special about Australia that is making so many superstars in the last 5 to 10 years? Like, there's just so many coming to the
Yeah.
breaks now.
I think it's a lot of different things. I think coming up in the PWA school in Sydney, I think there was this because we were so slept on for so long. There's this kind of like passion and drive that like, oh, we're gonna absolutely show the world when we get the chance. So it's like for for them when that opportunity comes up, they're so prepared, they're over prepared that like nothing's going to stop them from stealing the show and like absolutely surpassing everyone's expectations. Because I think those opportunities weren't there for so long. And I think
Mm.
everyone that has been around understands that like they've lived through the period of time where like opportunities didn't happen for Australian wrestlers. So I think everyone kind of takes every opportunity as like the biggest thing in the world. And they're like, oh, we're going to absolutely smash this.
Amazing. Hey, Kyle, thank you so much for your time today. Really looking forward to seeing you in Brisbane in
Oh, yeah.
February. And once again, congratulations as a local, seeing an Australian do big things globally in this industry that we all love is just so cool.
Oh,
So,
man. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for having me. I can't wait to see you in Feb.
A tradition of unforgettable moments arrives on an all-new stage next year.
The biggest night of the year, AEW Dynamite.
AEW Grand Slam comes to Brisbane, Australia. The next leg of AEW's Grand Slam goes down under.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
I'm the best in AEW.
Top guys, out.
All Elite Wrestling presents Grand Slam Australia from Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane, Australia. Saturday, February 15th, 2025.